Right around when I was 12, one of my best friends who I'd played basketball and softball with joined a club team, and she invited me to come watch her play. And at that time I was like super in love with softball. I went and watched her match and I was like, I could do this. I was like, why not? I tried out for our middle school team the next year, and I just remember like really loving the team aspect of it, and obviously being able to play with my best friends. The celebration and working together, I think there's just so much teamwork that is incorporated in volleyball and necessary to win a point. It's so much fun. When I was 16 was a really big turning point for me. I always had dreamed of going to the Olympics in softball, so I really wanted to pursue college softball. And as I started playing more competitive volleyball, I got on a really competitive club team, and we had a really successful year that year, and that was what set up for me like to be able to pursue college volleyball. I didn't think that it would be an option for me, especially all of my friends and my teammates were so much taller than me, and I felt like they were getting a lot more attention than I was, and so that success of that year allowed me to be seen a little bit more, and from then on it was all volleyball. I really wanted to go to Iowa State. Both of my parents went to Iowa State University. Where I grew up, everyone was a Hawkeye, and I had always dreamed, again, of playing softball there. And coincidentally, at the time when I was 16, their volleyball program just acquired a new head coach. So there was a ton of energy around the program, and I knew that was where I wanted to go. My first year of college was really hard, that adjustment period of going from being really good to being, the smallest of the pack. And I just remember calling my mom a lot to talk to her about, is this right for me? Like, can I do this? And she was always there. She's, always been in my corner and just encouraging me that like, I just have to keep working hard and just put my head down and kind of ignore everything that's going on around me, and like whatever my dreams are, to like keep that in the front of my head all the time. I wasn't really aware of what other opportunities were out there at the time professionally. One thing I always knew is I want to give back to the sport. I had always dreamed of being a Division I head volleyball coach. But then in between my sophomore and junior year, I went to try out for the USA national teams, where they have programs where girls from all over the country come to play. And that was kind of my first taste of just what could be beyond, playing with the best across the country. I learned a little bit more about the national team there and what that looked like and what that process and the selection process was like. And I knew that was my next goal, that I really wanted to join the USA women's national team. And if I could play professionally, I wanted to pursue that for sure. My last year with the national team in 2018, that was such a huge piece for me. I felt like the more that I was showing up as my authentic self and my real self, the less I was worrying about the things that were outside of my control. Remember to bring your best self, and I think figure out what that is. Represent who you are on the court as a person, and those things change over time. I think what I was when I was in high school to college to now, those values have changed, but they are what I fall back on when times get hard. I know that if I bring my best self all the time, that I'm gonna be showing up, and I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna be authentic, and that's the best that I can do. And so that would be my advice, is just, you can't be anyone else. You can only be yourself.